Good soldiers follow orders. Good soldiers follow orders. Good soldiers follow orders. Good soldiers follow orders. Kill the Jedi.
From heroes in the first battle of Geonosis, to victims at the end of the Clone Wars, to villains at the Battle of Endor. Over 26 years, the 501st Clone Battalion started as an elite group of loyal clones who would save the Republic during countless battles, but would eventually turn into the 501st Stormtrooper Legion, also known as Vader's Fist. After the first Battle of Geonosis, the Grand Army of the Republic was organized and divided into battalions, regiments, platoons, and various other units. One of those units was called the 501st Clone Battalion. This elite group was recognized during the first Battle of Geonosis for their actions and their abilities. Now they were led by clone CT-7567, who would later be known as Rex. They earned veteran status during the battle, which in turn earned them critical frontline experience. Now after the battle, and with the sponsorship of Chancellor Palpatine, the 501st was reorganized into the 501st Legion, which consisted of about 10,581 clone troopers at any given time. Now they were broken up into regiments, battalions, companies, platoons, and squads placed under the command of General Anakin Skywalker, who had just received the rank of Jedi Knight. Now early in the Clone Wars, Anakin and Rex would lead the 501st Torrent Company in the Battle of Christophsis. Down on the planet, as they were being overwhelmed by the droid army, a clone transport shows up carrying Anakin's new Padawan, Ahsoka Tano. With the help of Obi-Wan's 212th Attack Battalion, they were able to secure the planet and save Senator Bail Organa, but not before suffering heavy losses. Now these losses were supplemented with the addition of Advanced Recon Commandos Echo, Fives, Tup, Jesse, Dogma, and Hardcase. Now they helped protect Duchess Satine Kryze as she went from Mandalore to Coruscant, preventing assassination attempts by the terrorist group Death Watch, who opposed Satine's pacifist government. They also helped stop Dr. Nuvo Vindi from releasing the Blue Shadow virus on Naboo. They also went to Deveron on a mission to retrieve a Jedi holocron stolen by Cad Bane from inside the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. This holocron contained information about Force-sensitive children throughout the galaxy. They then thwarted an attack by the Separatists on Kamino, where Rex and the 212th Commander Cody promoted Echo and Fives to elite status of ARC Trooper. They lost ARC Trooper Echo on Lola Sayu while breaking into the Citadel to rescue Jedi Master Evan Peel and Captain Wilhuff Tarkin. Now Echo was presumed dead during the rescue, but what actually happened to him was much worse. He was captured by Wat Tambor of the Techno Union and plugged into a pretty horrific contraption that was able to extract all of his battle strategies from his mind. He was held in a sort of stasis for years until Anakin, the 501st, along with Clone Force 99, was able to rescue him from a separatist base on Skakel Minor. While we're on the subject of horrifying fates, right after the 501st lost Echo back on Lola Sayu, they fought in the Battle of Umbara. They also just implemented Phase 2 clone armor, and by this point, all of the 501st had blue markings. Anakin was called away to Coruscant, and Jedi Master Pong Krell took control of the 501st. Unfortunately, Master Krell had visions of the fall of the Republic and the rise of the Empire, so he turned to the dark side and wanted to become Dooku's apprentice. So he repeatedly put the clones in dangerous positions unnecessarily, and got a bunch of them killed. He absolutely hated clones. Now he did sense a mutiny from the clones coming, so he made a pretty horrific decision. He told both the 501st and the 212th that the Umbarans were wearing clone armor and that they needed to be destroyed.
Wait, I see them! They're disguised as clones, all right. What? We're shooting at our own men! They're not Umbarans! They're clones! They're clones! Whoa, 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 whoa! Look! We clones! We're all clones!
Luckily, it was Rex who recognized this. Rex and the 501st arrested Krell and eventually decided they had to execute him once they learned of his plan to destroy and betray the Jedi and the Republic. Fresh off of his brilliant plan to capture Krell on Umbara, ARC Trooper Tup starts to feel strange during the Battle of Ringo Vinda. Anakin and the 501st aid Jedi Masters and twins Tiplar and Tipli when there's a malfunction in Tup's inhibitor chip, causing him to assassinate Tiplar at point-blank range. He's immediately arrested by Fives as they pull back from the battle against Admiral Trench. Tup just keeps repeating, "Good soldiers follow orders." Annoyingly, He's carried out Order 66 prematurely. Now what I find interesting here is that Tup is in handcuffs and his chip is malfunctioning. He looks right past Anakin to Master Tipley and repeats, "Kill the Jedi." He passes Anakin to go after Tipley, so his programming was put in from the very beginning that they are not to attack and kill Anakin. At least that's the way that I see it. Now Tup is transferred back to Kamino along with Rex and Fives to see exactly what happened to him. Admiral Trench sends a message with a holo recording to Dooku on what happened with Tup, who in turn tells Sidious. It becomes paramount for Dooku to get to Tup before the Jedi. The Kaminoans do their best to cover up the existence of the inhibitor chips, but Fives finds out the truth. He makes a secret report and tells Rex about it, which is going to come in handy later on. Even with the attempted cover-up, Fives removes his and Tup's inhibitor chips and gets them to Shaak Ti. The Kaminoans and Shaak Ti struggle for possession of the chip. While Shaak Ti is tasked with bringing them to the Jedi, the Kaminoans are desperate to keep the Jedi from finding out the truth. Their fates depend on it. Palpatine intervenes and convinces Shaak Ti to bring both chips and Fives to him on Coruscant. He sets it up brilliantly to get rid of both the inhibitor chips and Fives before the Jedi learn the truth. Now this brings us to the siege of Mandalore and the dark fate that awaits the 501st. Maul is taking over Mandalore. Ahsoka is reunited with Anakin. Together they convince Obi-Wan to split the 501st. They form the 332nd Company led by newly promoted Commander Rex along with Ahsoka Tano to help take back Mandalore. The rest of the 501st will head back to Coruscant with Anakin as Grievous attacks the planet. Both groups will never be the same. The 332nd lay siege, and with the help of Ahsoka Tano, they capture Maul and retake Mandalore. With Maul in custody, they head back to Coruscant with hope that the Clone Wars are finally coming to an end. In hyperspace, on the way back, a transmission for Palpatine comes to Rex and Jesse. The programming from their inhibitor chips kick in, and as they turn on an unsuspecting Ahsoka, Rex is able to fight it off just long enough to warn her to find Fives and his secret recording. She's able to narrowly escape the first attack, finds Fives' recordings, captures Rex, and removes his inhibitor chip. Ahsoka sets Maul free on the Venator to wreak havoc so that they can make an escape. But this turns out to be a mistake that will cost everyone their lives. As Rex and Ahsoka make a plan to escape, they come to a heartbreaking realization.
There are too many. Besides, I don't want to hurt them.
I hate to tell you this, but they don't care. This ship is going down, and those soldiers, my brothers, are willing to die and take you and me along with them.
You're a good soldier, Rex. So is every one of those men down there. They may be willing to die, but I am not the one who is going to kill them.
As Maul destroys the hyperdrive, the Venator is pulled out of hyperspace and begins to crash down onto the planet below. Rex and Ahsoka are able to find a ship and escape the Venator, while Jesse and the rest of his brothers from the 332nd perish on the planet below. Their story ends with Ahsoka and Rex creating a memorial for their fallen brothers. At the same time, the rest of the 501st transformed from the heroes of the Republic to executioners of the Jedi. Anakin, now Darth Vader, takes a battalion of the 501st to the Jedi Temple to carry out the Jedi Purge. The 501st now had as a new commander, CC-1119, also known as Apo. Vader and the clones overwhelmed everyone in the temple, Jedi Masters, Knights, Padawans, and younglings. The 501st would continue to be Vader's personal troops, earning the name Vader's Fist. They served under Vader during the reign of the Empire. The 501st became the first of the Stormtrooper Corps, and due to the rapid aging of the clones, were eventually all replaced with regular citizens.
You got old.
Now this legion was with Vader when he boarded the Tantive 4 near Tatooine and captured Princess Leia. They were also on Hoth 3 years after the destruction of the first Death Star to destroy the rebel base on the planet. The 501st led the ground assault with the AT-ATs and the AT-STs that destroyed the generators, but not before many of them were taken out by the rebels, led by the son of Vader. The vaunted 501st Legion finally came to an end during the Battle of Endor when Luke turned his father back to the light, killing the Emperor while the rebels destroyed the second Death Star. It would seem the 501st would live by the old saying, You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Just remember, good soldiers follow orders. And now for your next orders, make sure to watch the very best Clone Wars storylines ranked here. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.